Hey y'all, Becca here. Welcome back to another weekly tarot guidance for the week of February 27th, 2022. If you are here and you are a returning viewer, what's up? If you are new here, hey boo, how you doing? Welcome to the fam bam, okay? We are here to do a weekly tarot guidance for this week to check out what's going on, what we need to be looking out for, all that good stuff. So, as per usual, please keep in mind that these are general readings. They may or may not resonate. If they don't, take what you need and the rest because they're general. If you would like a reading that is more catered to you, make sure you go to my description box, click on the link to book a reading, and get yourself together, okay? I have a new reading that I just wrote out yesterday. As a matter of fact, I'm calling it the Spring Ahead readings, and what they are basically readings that will be going over the months of March, April, and May, and kind of giving you a leg up, right? Letting you know what things to be looking out for those months, and helping you to get ahead of the curve. Because if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. Alright, so let's get into these readings. If you have any questions, comments, concerns after the reading, put them in the comments. And again, if you would like to book a reading with me, do so by clicking the link in my bio. Let's get it, okay? So, I think that this reading is very interesting for several different reasons, but one of the most interesting reasons that I think that this reading is interesting, girl, what, is because of the fact that we just entered Pisces season, right? So when I think of Pisces season, I think of being really in touch with your intuition, being really in touch with your emotions, but also, that tells me that we are on the precipice of the spring equinox, okay? So, that being the case, I am the type of person, I like to plant my seeds way ahead of time, right? So, a lot of the work that I've been doing personally, I started back in like November, December, so that they can, germinate and do what they need to do. But if you didn't do that, it's cool. You still got a little bit of time. Spring don't start on March 20th, okay? So, my thing is, a lot of times we struggle with a lot of imposter syndrome after we set our goals. It's like we get excited about our goals and then we're like, I don't know, can I really do this? That's what this reading is speaking to. So let's get into it, okay? So our first two cards out are the Knight of Wands, and we have that with community, okay? So these two cards coming out together is telling me it's time for you to take some action on something, right? It's time for you to do something. It's time for you to make some moves, okay? Bust a move. It's time for you to not only start to believe in yourself and run towards your goals, but it's a time for you to stay focused. And maybe you need an accountability partner, right? Maybe you need somebody to be like, hey, yo, sis, what's up with X, Y, Z that you said that you were going to do? What's the moves on it? What's going on with it, right? We all need that sometimes. I know I do. So if you are in a space of taking steps towards creating a goal, Lord Jesus, stepping out on a goal, starting to create something, and you need that little, you might see that this week, okay? So take the time out to allow yourself to be open. I don't know who this is for specifically. Be open to constructive criticism, okay? Not everybody is against you. Not everybody is trying to boss you around and tell you what to do. And of course, ultimately, whatever you decide to do is totally up to you and is your decision. However, there are some people in your life this week, you could be being just introduced to them, or they could be friends that you already have, family members, what have you. They want to help in some type of way. So let people help, because you may be able to get another perspective that you weren't really thinking about, right? So be open. Lean on your community this week, all right? That's a big thing. Now, here we go with this imposter syndrome, okay? We have the Seven of Swords and we have imprisonment, okay? You guys, a lot of times, and this is what I was talking about earlier when I said we could be dealing with a little bit of imposter syndrome, okay? A lot of times we get started with things and we hype ourselves up, rightfully so, okay? But at the same time, it's just like we don't believe that we can do it. Why? Why can't you do it? You would not have been given the thoughts, the feeling, the urge to do this thing if it wasn't for you to do. And it doesn't even mean that right now you have to be the best at it, but you need to make an effort, which is why I feel like the Knight of Swords was the first card that come out, right? You need to focus. Don't put so much stock into, oh, I don't know this or I don't know that or this is hard. Nothing that is worth having is easy. So you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to go after it. What's keeping you from doing what it is that you're wanting to do is this imprisonment, okay? Because when I look at this card, I think self-imprisonment. Sometimes, depending on the situation, kind of like the one now, I look at the Seven of Swords as kind of being that imposter syndrome, right? It's just like, what are you telling yourself? Be honest with yourself, right? Also, be cautious of the thoughts that you're thinking. And I know a lot of times we tend to want to blame outside influences for things not going right, for losses that we may take, lessons that we have to learn. But a lot of that starts up here. Everything that we create, anything that shows up in the physical, starts up here first. So this week, watch your thoughts. Learn how to be able to switch your thoughts over, right? And what I like to do is when I have a negative thought, and I know it's a negative thought, and I'm conscious of the fact that I'm having a negative, defeatist thought, I'm like, hold on, wait, pause. Okay. No, sis. So, example, okay? I'm like, I don't know how to do this. This is hard. I don't know nothing about this. I switched that over to, okay, what can I learn? Like, how can I learn this? What am I not looking at, right? How am I making things harder than they need to be type of energy? So this week, please be very, 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 please be very gentle with yourself, okay? Things take time to germinate. That's why I was saying at the beginning of the reading, things take time. You're not going to just pop out and know how to do something. Take time, and just because it's taking you a little bit longer than other people does not mean that you're doing anything wrong. Take the time, learn the things that you need to learn, and go ahead about your business, okay? Because our next card out is the Three of Cups with toil and labor, okay? And so y'all, I'm sorry if y'all hear me, allergies, okay? But the Three of Cups with the toil of labor. First off, kind of like how I was saying about the community card, there are people who are rooting you on. There are people who want to see you win. There are people who want to see you do well. But my thing is, before we even get to this, do you want to see yourself do well? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that you're worthy? Because none of this community matters if you don't feel that way about yourself. Somebody can sit there all day and be like, oh, you popping, you this, you that. But if you don't believe that for yourself, then none of that matters. So this week, take some time out and really, really, really try to be more gentle with yourself. Work on believing in yourself. This is not something that happens overnight for some people, right? It doesn't really happen overnight for anybody. You have to learn how to trust yourself. You have to learn how to believe in yourself and see your worth. And when you decide to do that, and when it is pouring out of you, other people is going to see that as well, and they're going to want to celebrate with you. They're going to want to, you know what I'm saying, be like, you know what? Let me hype you up real quick because I see what you're trying to do. I see that you're trying to better yourself. This hard work that you've been doing is going to bring, especially depending on the house that Pisces falls in for you, because I feel like this is, like, again, scalping me as well, because I have Pisces and Jupiter in the 11th house. Okay, so I'm about to have a lot of dope happening for me, okay? All of my hard work has led up to this celebration. So if you've been working hard on something and you haven't been seeing the fruit of your labor, baby, give it some time, okay? I feel like March is going to be a very, very, very fruitful month for a lot of people. And on March 2nd, we have the new moon in Pisces. So get them new moon intentions going, okay? Even if you don't write them down, even if you keep them up here, even if you just speak them out loud, get them intentions going and watch your March flow, okay? And I think it's so funny because bottom of the deck we have the Three of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles, okay? So making smart decisions, doing the work, okay, for the long term. Yes, short-term gratification is amazing sometimes. We all like to see little fruits of our labor. But what are you doing right now to set yourself up for the long term? Are the things that you do right now conducive to what you want to have in the future? Okay? Just saying. Bottom of the deck. Well, not bottom of the deck. I'm sorry. Lord Jesus. Last card out, we have ego. This week is about getting past your ego. I am a firm believer in we need both our higher selves and our ego. Everything is duality, okay? So we need both of them. I'm not one of those people that believe in, oh my God, kill the ego. Like, no, we need both. However, there are times, like this week, where your ego is going to need to take a back seat, okay? Because a lot of times when we let our ego run amok, that's where things like imposter syndrome come out. That's where things like feeling trapped and feeling self-imprisoned comes out, okay? Make choices to change your mind, okay? Don't get in this space where you're repeating cycles and, okay, so this didn't work out, I'm going to just go back to what I used to do. Baby, what you used to do is not going to work. Especially if you wanted to do something new. If you want different results, you're going to have to do some you never did, okay? So, don't let your ego put you in a mindset this week where you feel as though because things aren't moving along the way that you want them to move along and you're not seeing the fruits of your labor when you want to see them. Divine timing is not your timing, by the way. Don't let that set you back, right? You've done the work. You toiled and you labored. Let those things slowly start to trickle in, okay? Because like I said, anything worth having is worth waiting for and worth working for. Don't let your ego get you caught up this week, okay? We're going to get an oracle card real quick and see what else Spirit got to say to us. I decided to shuffle on camera this week because you guys said that you like the longer videos. And so that's what we are doing, okay? So, Spirit, do you have any more messages for this week? For the week of February the 27th, 2022. Oops, something flipped over. What do we got? We got the good old transmute card, okay? So, let's read about transmute. What page is that on? It is 44. And this is also a card in this deck in the suit of air. So what is air? Our thoughts, our mental, our communication, okay? And we had a couple of swords cards in the tarot portion. So the thoughts, boo. Lord Jesus, can I find the page? 44. I'm all the way in the 60s. Lord Jesus. Okay, so transmute. Within you lies the ability to take dense energy and turn it into a lighter and higher vibration. You can do this in response to constricting situations, difficult relationships, or blockages within your internal landscape. Sometimes we do not need to consciously work at the issue, but simply have the intention of doing so. This card is an invitation to identifying that which needs to shift and creating a sacred container for what you want to transmute, okay? Kind of like how I was saying at the beginning of the reading, creating the type of soil, the type of environment that you want these things to grow in, okay? So the scarab. Like all beetles, the scarab goes through a metamorphosis which is often associated with rebirth. However, the scarab's magic also lies in its egg-laying ritual. The scarab will take a piece of dung, roll it east to west, eventually laying eggs within the dung. After about a month, it rolls the dung into water to soften it, and the eggs can finally hatch. The scarab invites you to look at the world, even that which seems mundane and dung-like, as an opportunity for alchemy and rebirth, okay? Lady's mantle. Morning dew has always been revered as a magical substance. So when ancient alchemists saw how Lady's mantle held morning dew on her petals, they named her Alchemia. Sometimes we know a truth, but we are unable to fully grasp and integrate it. And this is where Lady Mantle shines. Call upon her when you need help transmitting that which you know into something you can embody. Okay, talking about that ego energy. Moldavite. Okay. There is a lot of mystery surrounding Moldavite as we are not sure exactly how it comes to be beyond the fact that it comes from space. The strongest theory is that it came from the impact of a giant meteor about 14.7 million years ago. Because of this, Moldavite brings about quick transformations and shifts, helpful for when you know something needs to be shifted, but you are unsure of how. Moldavite brings the mysterious power of the ethers. Use Moldavite as an ally when you are feeling stuck and needing help shifting out of it. Okay? So, this week, work on your thoughts. Work on shifting your perspective. I am so surprised that we did not see the hangman come out in this reading because that's what it's giving, okay? It's giving shift your perspective. What can you do in the now to shift your perspective? What can you do to take the things that you already have available to you, make them useful for you in your waiting period as you are waiting in this Three of Wands energy? Because when we see the Three of Wands, the Three of Wands talks about not if a thing is going to happen, but when. And so what you do in the interim is just as important as what you did to get here, and just as important as what you do to keep it, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you have any comments, if it resonated, please leave that down below. I love talking with y'all, chopping it up. I hope y'all have an amazing week. If you would like to book a reading, click the link in my description box. Be great, get bread, stay all the way live, and with everything be intentional. Peace.